Hey guys, how we doing and how we feeling today? Okay, so now that the Grammys have passed, let's talk about them, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna stick with the 7 categories that I talked about in the previous episode, specifically the ones that I made predictions for. So, okay, here we go. So, starting with the big 4 categories, with Record of the Year, I had predicted that Driver's License would win. But actually, Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic took it. And let me just preface this by saying I am happy with the winners of these 7 categories, despite only getting 2 of the 7 predictions right. I believe everything here that won really deserved it. I'm gonna get into that a little bit more with each category, but yeah. Leave the Door Open for me is a really good song. So it was really successful. It was the start of Silk Sonic's journey. So yeah, and I mean it's Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak. So yeah, it's really deserving of Record of the Year. Then Album of the Year, I had predicted that Sour by Olivia Rodrigo would win, but actually We Are by Jon Batiste took the Grammy. I saw on social media that many people were surprised by this win. Many people, it appeared that they didn't know who Jon Batiste was. And to be honest, prior to the nominations announcement last year, I didn't know who Jon Batiste was either, but I actually took the time to listen to his album, We Are. It was the last album that because I listened to the 10 albums nominated in Album of the Year, and We Are was actually the last album I listened to for the first time. And I gotta say, I was surprised, Jon Batiste has some really good music up his sleeve. So taking into account that I actually listened to this album, I have to say it was deserving of it. So I'm not mad about this. Okay. Then we go to Song of the Year. And in this category, I predicted that Driver's License would take it, but Leave the Door Open came in and took the Grammy. And once again, I am not mad about this win. As I said, Leave the Door Open, not only a great song, but a great record. So yeah. Then Best New Artist, this is one of the 2 predictions that I got right. Olivia Rodrigo took the Grammy win for this one. And I think it's fair to say that it wasn't really a surprise, just objectively speaking, because Olivia Rodrigo debuted last year, literally starting 2021 with a bang with Driver's License. And it's indisputable to say that she had the biggest year out of these 10 artists last year, and she's still going strong. So yeah, let's move on to the pop categories. 3 of the 4 that I predicted. So with Best Pop Solo Performance, okay, so here's one thing. I had originally predicted that Driver's License would win, but at the last minute, I changed my prediction to Happier Than Ever taking the win. But Driver's License did end up taking the win. And I'm really happy that Driver's License won, because You know, as I'm saying, I was between Driver's License and Happier Than Ever. Ultimately, I went with Happier Than Ever, but given that Driver's License was my original prediction, I'm really happy that it won this category. So, okay. Then we go to Best Pop Duo / Group Performance. I had predicted that Kiss Me More by Doja Cat featuring SZA would take it, and it did take it. And as I said in the previous episode, I've never been particularly fond of this song, but if I were to look at it from an objective standpoint, I can recognize, and I totally recognize, rather should I say, that this song is really deserving of this Grammy win because, you know, this song, as I said in the previous episode, was one of the biggest songs of last year. It charted in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 for several weeks upon end. And I'm really happy that Doja Cat won her first Grammy. I can't recall if SZA has won a Grammy before. I know she's been nominated. I remember that she was nominated back when Control was dropped, and well, she was nominated for the following year. I can't recall if she won in any of those nominations, but still, she won this category alongside Doja Cat. So yeah, I'm really happy that this song won. And lastly, Best Pop Vocal Album. I had predicted that Happier Than Ever would take it, but Sour by Olivia Rodrigo took the award. And once again, I'm really happy that it went like this, because Sour, as I've said not only in the previous episode, but in episode 3, where I talked about the album itself. Well, back then I said that I really enjoyed that album, really connected with me, really resonated with me. But in the previous episode, I said that, giving an update on that it was, no questions asked, by far my top album of 2021. So yeah, and basically I had predicted that Olivia Rodrigo would sweep up the big 4 categories, but alas, she only took, out of those 4 categories, she only took Best New Artist, but I'm very happy that she took 3 Grammys home in total. Okay, going on to talk about the performances. There are 3 that definitely stood out to me in particular. The first one has to be Driver's License. Once again, I say this song, I've never, up to this date, I haven't grown tired of this song. It always gets me in the feels. So it's a really special song for me. So, in this performance, I would say Olivia really nailed it. And I like that she started it, you know, like sitting in a vintage car and with the, you know, putting the keys in the car, like recreating that beginning of the song, of the studio version. So yeah, I would say that it was my favorite. Yeah, it was my favorite performance. Okay, then there was also a performance by Lil Nas X, which included a medley of Montero, Call Me By Your Name, and Industry Baby featuring Jack Harlow, and Billie Eilish with Happier Than Ever, which had an assist by her brother Phineas. And yeah, I really enjoyed that performance as well. I strongly believe Billy blew it out of the water. I enjoyed especially like when it started like raining, so to speak, and she was like rocking it out, and the vocals were there, they were sharp, they were strong. So yeah, really impressed with these three performances. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can say confidently that these Grammys, I really enjoyed them. And as I said, I was content with talking about these 7 categories. I was content with who actually won each one. So yeah, a lot of great material here. I really enjoyed listening to, well, I said in the previous episode that I listened to everything here except I didn't actually listen to all the Best New Artist nominees, but still I did what I could. So yeah, really can't wait to see what this year brings us and what the nominees for next year will look like. So yeah, and just before I end this, be sure to follow Pop and Bop on Instagram, which is @PopandBop, to get more content. So yeah, this has been Pop and Bop. I'm Emilio Fernandez, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.